The Honorable Prime Minister of Guyana, Brigadier Mark Phillips, on Monday night issued the commencement orders fully bringing into force the Telecommunications Act 2016 and the Public Utilities Commission Act 2016. Today we spoke with CEO of Digicel Guyana, Gregory Dean, who responded to this latest development.
It goes without saying that, we're overjoyed that we finally gotten to this stage of the process. It is an ongoing process, and we're expecting to get, some kind of formal notification from the government during the course of today. And following that, we would have details on the process we need to follow in terms of getting permissions for all the services we'd like to provide. So we're hoping that final piece, if you like, of the puzzle is a quite short one. And, as soon as possible, we'll be able to have all the permissions necessarily to provide, for new services, to perform upgrades of the network, etc. But I think, considering where we're coming from since 2006, where we've been lobbying and fighting and, to try and get liberalization, for us, it's a significant achievement. And it's quite surprising. I mean, prior to the elections, I suppose, we heard the promises in terms of liberalization. And, once the liberalization was completed, the election was completed, the Prime Minister did say, look, we'll liberalize as quickly as possible. But we kept saying, well, what's the date for that? How soon is that going to be? So, he's been good to his word. He's actually delivered a lot sooner than we were expecting it. So we're quite happy with the progress made so far. And we're looking forward to, as I said, completing the process and offering all the services in Guyana. For us, we would like to obviously upgrade the services we're currently offering. That is in terms of upgrading the current mobile data network. But then we'd also like to get into additional services. And then, Digicel has always been interested in going to remote areas as well. We'd like to look at some of those areas as well. So both in terms of coverage in Guyana and in terms of services, I think we are quite pleased, and we're looking forward to, as quickly as possible, deliver on those, what we've been promising over the years. We are in the middle of an upgrade of our network, and I think it's the biggest upgrade we've had for the network in quite some time. We're hoping to have that completed, I would say, in the next 2 to 3 months. We had some, and if you like, some issues in terms of, due to the COVID situation, probably held, in terms of schedule, has held us up a bit. But we're hoping to have that definitely completed within the next 2 to 3 months, and those are things that we've already agreed on and signed off. Then, there are other areas in terms of landing subsea fiber, etc., which, this certainty now with having the sector liberalized means we can, address those matters as quickly as possible as well. So there are some things I think customers are going to start seeing almost immediately. I expect there's going to be competition on things like long-distance calling. I expect the data competition to heat up as well. We have our plans. I'm sure, GT&T will have their plans as well. So, eNetworks as well are there, and they have their plans, and there might be other companies that come in as well. So I think it's a big win for consumers in Guyana, for Guyanese in general. I think even the situation recently from March onwards, where we've had this COVID lockdown situation, I think it's brought home to everyone how important access to the internet is. And I think even from an educational point of view, the challenges that some children have had with schooling and getting access to education, I think everything has, I suppose, brought home to everyone the importance of having quality internet service in the country. So I think we're hoping to play our part in that. And even if, this COVID situation stays with us, we're not sure, we're hoping that it ends soon, but I think even if it continues, or in the future, even if we get over this, I would hope, with the internet and access to the internet, we'd be able to change the way we do certain things in the country as well, and people would do a lot more things online. So I think we have a big part to play in that, as well as the other operators. The original focus of Digicel in 2006, a lot of it was focused on being a mobile operator, being, the best mobile operator in the market. But over time that has changed, and we want to be a full service provider. So in addition to the mobile service, we also want to do a lot more in terms of our business solutions, where companies come to us and we design, one-off solutions for them, especially as you can see, with oil and gas, and we expect a lot of other sectors to have significant needs going forward from a communication point of view. And we would like to be, one of the companies that are able to offer those companies the solutions they're seeking. So whether it's the oil and gas industry, I mean, it's something like even the call center industry. I mean, if you look long term in terms of the whole sector that's going to develop based on ICT, I think we want to play our part in that in terms of developing that sector as well. So we're not placing any limitations on where we can get on what the things we can do. And I mean, we've seen even from 1 year to the next in this communication field, technology is changing rapidly in terms of needs of customers, and how you can address those needs are changing as well. So we would like to have a seat at the table, so to speak, where we can, match our skills with everyone else without our hands being tied, which is what really was happening with the lack of liberalization. We heard the promises before, and we've heard lots of promises. So for us, we're just happy that, and this promise has been delivered. I mean, like I said, we had even when the government came in, there were a lot of saying we're going to get this done as soon as possible. And I think we must thank, the Prime Minister and even the Vice President and President, because they all, said, this is something that they're promising to do as soon as possible, and they've delivered. So for us, we're just grateful to them, and also the technical team who worked on this over the past few months and in such a short space of time to get things done, because a lot of people have always doubted that liberalization can be achieved, and it's going to take years, and it's going to be a long process. So for the technical team to be engaged, along obviously with the support of the political players, to achieve it in such a short time, I think is a significant achievement, and it's, augurs well, if you like, for the country.
DPI will continue to bring you some of the responses from the various service providers that operate within Guyana.